welcome to Enquire to Choir. My name is Eva and I'm here to help you, fellow choir people. In today's video, I will try my best to give you valuable advice on the topic how to deal with difficult choir members. Before I start, I just want to say that yes, you could be really direct, upfront, aggressive, and bossy about those people, and that's fine. But the thing is, if you came to watch this video, I suppose you want to find a subtler way, right? Also, it depends on what kind of a conductor you are, what your modus operandi is and has been so far. So to solve this equation, I think it's better to go by specific scenarios and by specific kinds of difficult persons. Let's start. Difficult person number 1. A singer who is a trained singer and always has an opinion. You know this person. This person is always commenting on what you said, if they agree with what you said, how they know there is a better way, how the music piece you have chosen is too easy for them, always lamenting on what needs to be done, how they know best, how they learned differently, etc. I don't want to be rude, but to be honest, those people are difficult. I had those people in my choirs and they were all very different. Some of them were just egomaniacs and some of them were just really concerned about my abilities as a choir leader. Firstly, don't back down. If they ask you or tell you something every time in front of the choir, you answer every time. I realized if I can explain to this person that I know my stuff, and it doesn't even have to be a long explanation, they tend to back down eventually. Sometimes my explanation is just because I said so, and actually that works as well, because I keep showing them I am willing to cooperate and to be kind, but I still don't let them belittle my authority. I realize that to some of you this may seem like a complete waste of time and completely unnecessary, but let's be real. Those people tend to be the best singers in the choir. I said it. I know. And the fact is, you need them. My way of dealing with this is to make them trust me and to make them realize that yes, I respect the fact that they know their stuff, but I know my stuff too. So answer and don't back down. Secondly, use them. When they have all these opinions, it's because they want the attention from you and from the choir. And you can also use this to your advantage. I'm not saying that it's fair just to give them the solo number, but if you need a soloist for a music piece and they're the best, try. But then you are one-on-one. What I mean by that is you have to show them that being a soloist doesn't mean they can play on their own. It's rather the opposite. They have to be cooperating with you and the choir. This is a good way for them to realize that they need you. They need you to show them when their cue is. And they need to watch you and do what you say, because if they're not paying attention to how you are conducting and they fall apart with the choir, it's going to be obvious it was because they didn't pay attention to you and because they were uncooperative. Of course, if things are not working out during the rehearsals, you feel like they will not change, you have to take them the solo number away. That is your biggest power, because you give them a chance to show you how worthy they are. And if they fail, and they don't have to be perfect, they just have to be cooperative. But if they fail, you are free to take the opportunity away from them. Even better is if you can use them as an accompanist. Yes, that is so much win. That is a win-win situation for everybody, because you get an accompanist and they get the attention and they have to cooperate with you. If you can use them to be an accompanist, go for it. Difficult person number 2. A singer who keeps singing louder than everyone. They sing like they're soloists. They want to be heard and they don't want to conform to the group. First of all, you can ease the pain by positioning them in the middle of their section, in the middle of the group. Don't put them at the end of the line, in the end of the row. No, put them in the middle. Make them be surrounded by all the other people. When they're surrounded by a lot of sound, they have more sound to fight, if you understand what I'm trying to say. They have more singers around them. It makes them listen to others more, just because the amount of sound around them which they have to process is bigger. Two things can happen. The first one is they start to conform to the group organically, or, which is more likely, they will try to be even louder. In that case, you have to take your time. You have to explain how a good choir sound works. And the whole point of the choir singing is that nobody is sticking out. You can also say that they, as individuals, can work on the sound quality of the choir in two ways. The first way is trying to always be able to hear the people singing around them. The second way is to explain that they are not objective when it comes to how loud they have to sing while singing with the group. Teach them that when you say they have to be quieter, they really have to be quieter. And the only way they can know if they were quiet enough is to seek information from you, the conductor. A very good thing is to record singing during the rehearsal, because they may not realize when they're sticking out and they may not believe you. But if they listen to the recording, they can really hear it. There are certain people when everything is good during the rehearsal, but during the performance, they are 10 times louder. Again, record it and discuss it afterwards. If they are pleased by the fact that they were sticking out and they were in the center of attention, it's time to think about them leaving the choir. And you have to say it. Something like, you know, I don't think you want to be in a choir. I think you want to be a soloist. You have to decide and act in that way. But I have to let you know that if you wish to say, you have to change. You have to be willing to be part of a group. Difficult person number 3. A person who never comes to the rehearsals, but always shows up for the performance and/or dress rehearsals. This one is actually easy. Those people count on 2 things. The first one is you won't make them go away from the performance because it would be inconvenient for you to deal with them at that time. And the second thing is you need them. When that person shows up, you have to tell them right away they cannot perform. Their argument will be, but I know everything, I know the notes, I studied it. Your answer should be, that may be so, but the whole choir learned everything without you. And I formed their sound without you. Plus, there are many details you can possibly know about. And even if you knew, it's very disrespectful of you to come today without respecting other singers' time. And it would be very disrespectful from me to let you sing, because it would tell others who show up for every rehearsal that I don't respect it. You know, all this you can repeat a few times before the performance, during the rehearsals you're having. It doesn't matter if that person ignores all of that. It just matters that it was known before. And who knows, maybe that person isn't even aware that rehearsals are important. And yes, our luck has it that those persons are your best singers. That person is probably the best singer you have. And you probably don't want to lose that singer. I get it, been there. But from my experience, showing your principles and authority could make them realize the choir is valuable, and they will start coming to the rehearsals afterwards. And even if you lose that person, it's okay. One swallow does not make a spring. Move on. Difficult person number 4. A person who is always late for the rehearsal. Actually, I did a whole video about this topic. I will link it here and down in the description. I think that the mechanism of coping with this issue could benefit all of you, even if you don't have that difficult person in your choir. Difficult person number 5, a person who is rude. To you, to other singers, to other people when talking about the choir. Simple. When that starts to happen, you tell the whole choir, without mentioning any names, that that kind of a behavior is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. If they continue to be rude, and substantially rude, then talk to the person specifically, one-on-one, and warn them. If that doesn't help, ask them to leave. For me, there are no other solutions. You want your choir to be happy, especially if they are amateurs. It's important for them to be willing to come back. Next, and now for some general advice. Be kind, but be assertive, and be consistent with your warnings. It's not just about having the rules set. It's about obeying them. Your choir will respect you more if you show them you go by your word. Even if you give someone a chance, doesn't mean you're not able to pursue the consequences you promised. Don't be afraid of you coming off as a rude person. You are a leader. Share the responsibility with your choir's leadership, especially the choir's president. Yes, while you have the executive power in most situations, still talk to them. Talk about certain issues with your chosen people. Have a discussion. Because if you will have to explain yourself in the future for some of your past actions, your choir's leadership will have your back. Don't be irrational and don't take it personally. It's so easy to get offended and to start questioning everything you do. You know when you're doing right and when you are not. Think about your decisions before you execute them. Take a moment before reacting. But once you act on it, let it go. It should be about the group, not about the individual. Yes, to make a group happy, you have to make most of the individuals happy. But if you have to make one person unhappy to keep the rest of the group happy, then choose the group. And that's it. It was a long video. Thank you for watching. It's not easy handling this subject. I have to say that I thought a lot about it and I really hope this was helpful. If you wish to talk to me, go to Facebook or Twitter. If you liked the video, you can press the thumbs up button. And if you wish to see more from Enquire to Choir, you can subscribe. Conduct well, conductors, and I'll see you next time. Bye!